Welcome into the Gridiron Grind live post-game show. Cowboys Monday Night Football go into LA, beat the Chargers 20-17, and get the victory over the Chargers. Creta with you here on the Gridiron Grind live post-game show. Waiting on Jimmy. Jimmy was driving home, so he's about to join us shortly. So get the questions in. We got a few people already tuned in. Got two questions so far, but huge bounce back win for the Cowboys to get that win over the Chargers. Oh, actually, is Jimmy coming here? I guess he's coming here. Just a second. Let me go let Jimmy in. Cowboys win 2017. You listen to Grind Live post-game show. Let me go let Jimmy in, and then we'll get this thing started. Yo, I didn't know you were coming. I didn't know you were coming over. My other chair's broken.
That's fine. We can stand.
We just stand. Yeah. All right, Jimmy's live and in person. Huge win by the Cowboys, 2017. Jimmy, what'd you think about that game?
Loved it, man. We're back, bound for the Super Bowl. San Fran, who never heard of her? They lost to the Browns. We beat the Chargers. Loved it. Defense came through in the end when they had to.
Yeah, they did. Huge. Didn't have a sack the whole game. Michael Parsons with a huge sack there at the end. Could you pick a better weekend? We got Rangers won yesterday and today. Cowboys win. Niners, Eagles both lost yesterday. What a perfect weekend.
Love it. Love it. Only thing to make it better is if I win the lottery.
True. Love to win the lottery. Get your questions in. We're going to do a short one. Not going to be late tonight. We have one. Raymond Terrell. Gabe says, so happy we didn't lose to Kellen Moore. True. That would have been a bad you can't let your ex-girlfriend beat you.
No, man, you got to show up with someone better looking, and act like she don't even bother you. And we kind of stared at her from across the bar most of the night, but at the end of the night, we went home with the better looking gal. So good job. And one thing I thought about tonight that really stood out to me was Dak using his legs to extend the play. Huge. The pass to Pollard, he's able to roll out and he's running more. He doesn't look as fast as he used to. I don't know if he's heavier or if that injury, but either way, Dak using his legs more was huge tonight. Big key to the victory.
Yeah, I agree. He had 40 yards rushing. We didn't even get to 100 yards rushing. Pollard only had 30 at 15 carries for 30 yards. Dak had 40. So, yeah, I agree with you. Dak running the football was massive today. And my brother texted me about our usage of CeeDee Lamb. Getting CeeDee Lamb involved was a big aspect in this game.
Yeah, it was, and go back and forth on whether or not he's a number one. And tonight he played like one, and Dak got him the ball. And I like the scheme. We were getting him, on the quick slant, get him in space. And, the Chargers kind of keyed in on that. But like I said, Dak being able to extend the play really kind of kept them honest. Offensive line had some issues kind of blocking. Of course, they do have, Khalil Mack and Abosa, so they're pretty good up front. But I thought we did great. And another thing I watched is whether it was Dowdle or Pollard picking up the blitz. I thought they did a phenomenal job. Murray was coming in, K9, but I thought the running backs picked up the blitz well tonight as well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, Dak was pretty efficient, and our offensive line pass protection wasn't great. Tyron Smith, he might be showing a little bit. He got beat a few times tonight, but like I said, the backs did a good job picking him up. I mean, the Chargers had 4 sacks, and a couple times Dak probably held on to the ball a little too long. But we get that kind of performance. He was good with the football, no turnovers tonight. Didn't take too many bad chances, and it gives us ourselves a chance to win. And with that defense, Herbert we didn't really affect him that much, but he was off a lot of that game, but finally got the sack at the end.
Yeah, it seemed like he was sped up for a lot of the game. And then, like you said, we didn't get the sack until the end when it counted. And that's kind of been Micah Parsons' resume. He either dominates the whole game, or when he does have a game like this, seems like he makes the big play when it matters. That sack was huge. And then the big pick there by Stephon Gilmore, making up for the PI that allowed the Chargers to get that score to Everett right there. So, yeah, big win.
Grayson Riddle says, fix the run game. Gridiron, true, yeah. This was the first game, though, we hadn't really been able to run the football. And not for lack of trying. I give him credit. Pollard still had 15 carries, but he only had 30 yards. So, yeah, we just haven't had a complete game where we've had it all clicking on offense. Usually in our previous 3 wins, the defense has really carried the day. But this time, the defense played well, and the offense played well enough. Needed to run the football better. I think we were a little bit better in the red zone. The Cooks' first touchdown, I'm not sure, was that red zone?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was. And then we had the big play from Pollard on the
60-yard.
The Dak on the scramble. And then the next touchdown, that wasn't from the red zone. So we did a little bit better in the red zone. Madison Carter says, let Dak cook, get Pollard the ball in space, and continue to feed 88. I thought getting Cooks involved, getting Lamb involved, and then Pollard in the pass game, we just talked about that big long run. That was huge.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been as dramatic of a game. That ball to Pollard on the wheel route there when he put the move on, I was going,
make it better throw.
The ball sailed to the sideline. If he throws that more, towards the bolt there, Pollard runs underneath it, and it's an easy 6. But hard to complain about a win, so I'll take it.
Yeah, there's things to talk about. You listen to the Gridiron Grind live post-game show on our YouTube channel. If you're not listening to us live, most people listen to it later, probably tomorrow, with this being a late game. But it's on our automatically saves to our YouTube channel, so you can check it out. But the Dak's pass that hurt us at the end. That could have hurt us. But let's talk about the punt return fair catch. They said he was blocked in. I never understand, how do you get blocked in when the Chargers guys, the guy pushing our guy into Turpin? That was a terrible call, and they just kind of brushed it off like, well, he was blocked into him. He was the aggressor, did it on purpose, pushed our guy into Turpin, loose ball, and then we touched it first, but that was a terrible no call. That was interference.
Let me read you the rule verbatim. It is interference if a player of the kicking team contacts the receiver or causes a passive player of either team to contact the receiver before or simultaneous to his touching the ball. I don't know what part of the rule, I don't know what part of that play did not meet. Every step of that's met. A player of the kicking team blocked our guy, a passive player, into the receiver, Turpin, before he touched the ball. So I don't understand why, unless they're trying to say he didn't call fair catch. Okay, but he called fair catch. It was catch interference. And then I don't get this. We won, so it's still hard to kind of
bash on lost that game. Oh my goodness!
But the officials, it seemed like they called it real tight, and then it just they picked and chose. It was like, hey guys, we can't call it that tight, and yeah, I think that was a big blown call.
It was, and you just read the rule verbatim. That second part, or blocking that passive guy into the receiving team trying to catch the football.
Don't understand
That's
why that
exactly what happened. And then we almost held them out, and they had a good 4th down play and got the touchdown. But we'll stay like 2-3 more minutes. Any more questions get in. Let Aubrey kick from 80 out. Dude's been on fire. Missed the first extra point of the season. Hasn't missed one kick. Knocking on wood there. But the dude's been nails. It's just been nails.
I love it kind of makes me laugh. If you watch him, it seems like a lot of kickers have this sort of really like focused approach to the ball when they're going to kick. And Aubrey just kind of looks like he's just sort of nonchalantly walking up there like, yeah, I guess I'll kick it. Bam. And it just goes through every time. It's amazing. Yeah, that guy's been clutch.
Yeah, he really has. And like you said, nonchalant, puts it right through the middle. So that was huge. Just a big bounce back win for the Cowboys after last week's debacle. Then we go into the bye week. We're now 4-2. We're 4-2. We're a game out of the East and a game out of the 1 seed in the NFC. With the Niners finally looking vulnerable, the Eagles finally looking vulnerable. So we're just 1 loss behind those guys heading into the bye week. I think if we can get hot, this team can get hot to me, I was a little surprised by the 49ers performance yesterday. I know McCaffrey got hurt. I think Kittle got banged up. Debo, still surprised. But the Eagles, to me, I mean, they're a good football team. They've made it to the Super Bowl, but they haven't looked as good to me as they did a year ago. I think the Cowboys if they can get hot and get going, they have a chance to win the East this year. I really believe that. They just got to keep getting better every week and really put it together. I'm waiting for them to put a whole game together on offense, pass, run, red zone, third down conversions.
Yeah, you're right. And the Eagles, we talked about it earlier. Like they didn't look the same. It's like they don't kind of like what we talked about the Cowboys, how offensively we went from first in the league in offense to 27th. It's like, yeah, we don't look the same and the numbers don't lie. And kind of the same with Philly. It's like it's hard to argue if you're an Eagles fan because you were winning, but it finally showed up where it was like, yeah, man, you're not blowing teams out. And it caught up with them in San Francisco. We got the recipe to beat them. Just hurt McCaffrey and Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel, and turns out you can take them down too, because that was the first game without those weapons that Brock Purdy looked like a Mr. Irrelevant. And have you seen the meme where the George Kittle shirt says "I lost to the Browns" instead of the vulgarities aimed at our team?
Yes,
loved it.
Yeah, Karma came back 1 week later. Got a couple of questions here before we sign off. It says during the broadcast they compared McCarthy's play calling stats to Moore's. We're still happy Kellen Moore is no longer calling plays. I will say, I mean, Moore's better in the red zone. We were the number one team in the red zone last year. That's the big stark difference. But I think it's a new system, and I do think we deviated a little bit from what we've been doing tonight. Before the previous 5 games was just dink and dunk almost. We never hardly pushed the ball down the field. We threw the intermediate game a lot better tonight to CeeDee Lamb, Cooks on the touchdown. And I think a big part of that was Dak's ability to run when he needed to run. When it wasn't there, he didn't force it or make a bad decision. He able to use his legs, like you talked about, 40 yards. So I thought that helped. And throwing the intermediate game instead of the quick 5-yard passes, I think, opened up the defense, especially in the middle of the field.
I agree. And I tell you what, that stat really surprised me that we're basically a point per game different from Moore to McCarthy. Obviously, the red zone was the big drop off, but that stat came up and we were like 27 points a game versus 26 with McCarthy. That one shocked me because, like I said, we don't even look the same offensively. We were, high caliber passing and seemingly really putting up points, but we're only 1 point difference.
Well,
so that was shocking.
Does that count? How many defense and special teams touchdowns have we had this year?
Yeah, see, I don't.
So they might be counting.
They're probably counting offensively.
Maybe because I know like the first game we had a defensive touchdown and a special teams touchdown. The Patriots we had 2 defensive touchdowns. So maybe that's factored in. Not sure, but yeah, I mean, if we can keep getting better, if we look better at the end of the season, we got every bit of a chance. We got the roster. We just got to come up and execute when the game's on the line. We need Dak to continue to get more comfortable and get better. He's just got to do it every week. You can't have those letdowns like he did against the 49ers. And then, of course, Gabe asked, can we beat the Eagles? I mean, I think we can. Absolutely. It's will we? Will we? Absolutely, we can. We split with them last year. Hurts has still never beat Dak. So Dak's only 1-0. They've been starting quarterbacks for a couple years now, but because of injuries, both quarterbacks have only played once. Dak won. So we definitely can. It just we need to. We got 2 losses. They only have 1, and we play them. Is that who we have the bye? Is that who we play out of the bye? I have to look up the schedule.
No, I got you. I don't think so. I think we play. Washington?
I know we play them coming up pretty quick. Let's get the schedule pulled up here. Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17. You're listening to the
we got the bye, then we got the Rams.
Oh, it's the Rams. Yeah, that's right. We play back-to-back LA teams, and then it's the Eagles. So bye, and then Rams in Dallas Sunday the 29th, which is a noon kickoff. That might be our first noon kickoff of the season. And then Cowboys at Eagles Sunday, November 5th at 3:25. So take care of business against the Rams, and then you set up a showdown with the Eagles the week after. So good win going into the bye. Get healthy, get things shored up, get the offense progressing. The Eagles got the Dolphins next week, Sunday night. That's a big one because the Dolphins are looking maybe the best team in the NFL.
They go Eagles, and then they have a division game against the Commanders. That if they get to clicking offensively, if Sam Howell doesn't look like Sam Howell, then that could be again a trap game for Philly as they look ahead to us.
The Commanders just took them to overtime
Mm-hmm.
a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, that was a pretty big game. Now the Eagles go on the road. So they host the Dolphins, then go on the road to the Commanders, and then host the Cowboys, and then got to go to the Chiefs, host the Bills, host the Niners, play the Cowboys again. Seahawks are a playoff team. I mean, the Eagles are about to get into the thick of their schedule. So this is an opportunity for the Cowboys. That was a huge win. Got to get on a roll, play the Rams next week. Grayson says, night, go Boys, go Rangers. Huge win for the Dallas fans. Cowboys and Rangers win the same day. So pretty big day. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and getting your questions in. Again, this saves and goes automatically to our YouTube page. Be sure to join us Wednesday. Our college football podcast will be up. And also on Thursday, we'll have the Cowboys and talk more about this Cowboys win into the bye, talk more about the NFL and where the Cowboys set in the middle of their bye week, heading into, I think it's week 7 of the NFL season. So be sure and tune in for that. You can catch our weekly podcasts on Apple Podcasts and on our YouTube channel. So signing off, Cowboys beat the Chargers Monday Night Football 20-17. Huge win for them and the Rangers. Jimmy, final thoughts.
Loved it. At the end of the day, pulled it out. And you can't argue. Like I said, can't argue with a victory, no matter how ugly. We got it done. So go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. We'll see you this week on the Gridiron Grind. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll be back with our next live post-game show. It'll be for that. It'll be earlier than usual. It'll be the noon game for the Rams in 2 weeks. So join us for that. Check us out, gridirongrindsports.com. Or on Twitter and Instagram. See you guys later this week. Go Boys.